So today I'm dyeing up an alternative colourway for the Easter bundle sets. I'm using the same yarn bases. This one I'm working with now is the merino and baby alpaca with nylon blend. I've done what I've done in the last previous video you saw me doing, where I've laid it out in the tray, and I've just hooped my rings underneath my zip tie, gathered it up in this either ends, and then created a bit of a straight in the middle so that I can have a bank of colour in the section in the middle, and then stop that from interfering in with the other colours on the other side. So I'm going to firstly, hold on a second, we need to go with a dash of citric acid water. Don't need a lot. The yarn has been sat soaking in the sink for a little while, so we don't need a lot of that anyway. There's still quite a bit of moisture in there, and we will pour this ivory dye stock that I've got here. So I'll pour that in there. Now it's going to give you a really light creamy colour, but you can just make it out on the camera now. Then I'm going to go in with this lovely lilac, and then I have got this mauve for over here. I'm just going to add some more water to this. I'm quite happy to have that more watered down. So the colours we're working with are Crocus colours, so I'm just going to, while the water's still quite, so we've got these crocuses and purples, and you've got hints of creams in there. So this is the first of 4 yarns I'm doing for this colourway, and it'll pop up on the screen. You probably see it now, and we're just going to get this going really light, and we'll sort out the colours that we're using. So I have got Dharma dyes, ivory, lilac and mauve, antique mauve there, and it's like a pinky purpley type colour. And I've also got a pink blush that I've added a little bit of delphinium blue to it as well. And then we have got some, what else colour will we use with this? Just seeing what I've put down somewhere. Hyacinth and Valentine. So that's what we're working with on this yarn. I've got 3 others to dye today, but I thought we'll start with this one because it's really pretty. So if you remember from watching the other day, that all the pictures of what they look like laid out have been popping up in between the yarn lots that I'm dyeing, and then the results of them I've put them at the end. This video won't be as long as the previous one because well, there's not much more to go into. You've already seen a more detailed video on the first colour yarn dye of the Easter bundle sets. The same gifts will be going in with this as well at the end. This is just a bonus roll video that's going on to the YouTube and Patreon platforms. So yeah, so we're just going to let that do its thing. It shouldn't take too long because these dyes are really quite light, and I'll go and get my other pots sorted out. I'll just turn that heat down and I'll catch you in a minute. Now that that dye is all saturated away quite a bit, this should be quite clear underneath, I'm just going to put a little speckling of this honey mustard over the top, just to help represent the yellow that you find in the crocuses, and the just a little lift in there. I'll put this on both sides as well. A little more on this edge with the cream, and we'll flip this tray around and let the heat get to this side, like so. There we go, and it really won't take long at all. So that's honey mustard that I've added to that dye tray as a speckling, and again, as I say, I will repeat that on the other side once this is taken, which won't take long. This is literally taken about 5 minutes or so. The water is clear. Yeah, completely clear underneath. There's no colour in there at all. So I'm now just waiting for these speckles to settle and adhere to the wool, and then we'll get it flipped over and we'll get the next 3 colours put on. Again, turn that down low, and we'll flip it over in a minute. So we've flipped the yarn over, and you can see that there's patches in there, still the little bits of white, which is what we're looking for, because we want the next colours that we're going to put on here to just have their own identity. So we're going to go with this lovely cream soda up here over the top of the cream again, like that. Cool. And then we're going to use some of this more purpley pink up here, like that, and then just a dash of purple over the top here. There we go, like that. And we're quite happy with the way those colours are going to work in together. There we go. So we've got this crocus vibe sort of going on with these colours in here. I'm not going to do any speckling yet. I might add a little bit of speckling more up this end, which I think I'll do now. Just try my hands. We'll get the heat back on. And I think, yes, we will. I've got a dash more purple. Just run that along here. I don't want to kill the vibe of the creamy colour too much. And I will grab that honey mustard again. And we will just give this tiny little sprinkling along here. Just for a little bit of definition, like so. So when the yarn is being worked with, there will just be the odd highlight of extra colour on there. So we're just going to leave that for a few minutes. It won't take long. I'm going to turn the heat down because it's starting to lift up the steam now, as you can see, and I'm quite happy the way that's going to go. And we'll leave that again. Because it's got a bit more stronger pigment of purple in there, I'm going to leave that for about 8 minutes. And then we'll come back to that and we'll have a look to see if the dye has actually saturated. It shouldn't take too long, to be fair. I don't think it will take a massive amount of time. We've already got a colour, see all the way down to the bottom of the tray here on this side anyway. So it shouldn't take too long. It's more to do with the speckling that we need to help create that uniqueness there. See the speckling up there? So you've got this purple gradient coming into this cream, and that definitely just, to me, screams of crocuses. So yeah, we'll let that do its thing, and we will catch up with that in about 8 minutes once all this colour has saturated into the yarn and the water is clear underneath. So the next yarn I'm working with is this one, and it is a bionic yarn. I think this one's the superwash merino. It's either merino or the hold on a second, let me just double check my tickets and I can tell you exactly what it is. I'll just get this laid in here so where I'm happy with it. Okay, oops. So there's bionic yarn 4-ply, and it is absolutely positive it is superwash merino. It's not the bionic, it's the other one. Where's the other ticket gone? Do you know, you put these things down so you can write on them, and then when you go to find them, you can't find them. Yeah, I've got two merino yarns with nylon. One's a superwash and one's a biodegradable yarn. I think this one's the biodegradable yarn with superwash merino. I'll get that in there. In you go, and stop being naughty because Joe's just not with it at all today. Right, so this one, we're going to bank it up in the middle. Okay, and you've seen me do this a couple of times now. So we're literally going to hold on to the edge on the other side and hold on to the edge on the other side and make a bank of yarn in the middle. And again, do that side and do that side. Bank of yarn in the middle so that the colours don't encroach on each other on the other side where I'm putting them, because they're quite strong pigments, and we're working with greens this time round and a hint of purple. So we're gonna put in some of our soak, some of our citric acid water mordant in there, and then we're going to pour this green over. I'm just going to top it up with a bit more liquid, like so. There we go. So I'm quite happy with that. We'll get that pushed down so that that green can sit on the top there. Now, because it's a super wash, it will saturate the liquid really quickly. So we've got another colour over here, and this is a grass green. I'm going to put that on the top like that. And then we have a purple that's a mix of the periwinkle and purple colour together. Right, and we are now going to just shimmy these liquids out. Now we are going to do some speckling on this one. Okay, I'm going to do some hint of green, some darker pigment of green, a little bit of yellow in there, and some darker spots of purple. So I'm going to get the heat on now, and then once it's all set and the yarns, the specklings took, then we'll flip it over and we'll put the other colours on the other side. So I have got, I just want to grab some different shades of purple on this side. Oh, so we've got a touch of royal purple, so we're going to put the purple speckling over the area where the dye's not struck. Okay, like that, lovely. And then we're going to do some of that on this side as well, like that, and then some up here. I'm not going to put purple on the green over there. I'm going to grab some more green. I have got, let me see, let me just find the green I'm looking for. I'll give my hand a rinse as well, because I've got dye stuck all over it now. You turn that heat down, because it's a really shallow liquid in that tray, so we don't have a lot to dye stock to play liquid to play with at the moment till we flip it over. So I'm just going to add some lichen on here, and we're going to bring some lichen in with the speckling down here. Try and find areas where the dye hasn't taken, and then a little bit in the middle here, and then a little bit up here, but not a lot. Quite happy with the way that's going to look. So we've got a lot of speckling going on, which should look absolutely fantastic, and then we will flip it over and we will do the other side on that one. So on the next side we've got some green to go on, and we'll probably just stick with a creamy colour over the top of the purple on the other side, and then we've got some greens to go on that when we flip it over. So we'll catch it when this is saturated, all the speckling's taken, and the heat's done what it needs to do with the citric acids to fix that in place. So we'll catch you in a moment. So that I'm quite happy with. It's been in there for a few minutes, or a fair few minutes, and it's been I've let it just sit there in the water to cool as well. So we're just going to flip these over like that, bring that back a bit, and make sure that my green is sat in the middle there, and that green is sat at the top, so it all looks similar when we flip the other one over. Really quite happy the way this has turned out. I know I always sound surprised once I do it, don't I? But you know what? No batch of yarn's ever the same. And if you practice yourself at home and have a little dabble, you will notice that no matter how much you try, you never end up with two yarns the same, especially when sorry, my arm was in the way then, especially when you're laying out the yarn in your tray. You may end up with more bumps on one side and more bumps on the other. The dye might come out the pot a little bit differently in the sense of when you're sprinkling it. So yeah, there's different factors to add into there. So what we're going to do next is I've got some lichen green here, and I'm going to really just wash that over the top again. And then instead of adding green, I'm going to go with the lovely cream soda. So we've got that back in the middle again. And then we've got our purple, and we're going to scoot that up here, and I'm going to pour from this end like that. And now I'm going to turn the water back on the heat. I'm just going to scoot that through. As I say, it's a super wash yarn, so it will take the dye really quickly. And then we'll add a little speckling now. And this time, we're going to go with, where have we got? What we got? We have got antique mauve. I'll pick a little bit of that because I don't have a lot of the antique mauve left. So we're going to do a little sprinkling of antique mauve. Just a little bit here. That'll do. Try and get that off my fingers. Like that. And then we'll get some green. I've got some avocado green, so I'm just going to add a little dash of avocado green speckling up here on top of the green. Quite happy with that. And we'll add a little bit onto the purple, but I don't want a lot. I'm quite happy because when it flips over, we're going to have quite a lot on the other side anyway. So it goes, so that'll do. Quite happy with that. I'll go and rinse my fingers off. Take off the dye from my fingers. There we go. And we will let that do that, and we will show you what it looks like obviously at the end, and they're all dry. Okay, so for now I'll catch you when we get ready for the next colour. So next yarn in here is the stellina, merino and stellina, gold stellina in there, and we're going to do a variegated dye wash. So literally pour this over like so in a zigzag sort of fashion. There we go. Not too, I don't like doing completely solid straight lines. I always find that it sort of looks a little bit odd. And then I've already put the citric acid in, so we're just going to put some blemishes like this along here, a little bit down there, a little bit more down there. Oh, still got quite a bit of liquid in that, so we'll just top that up like so. Now that was a mauve that I've just put on there. Now I've got some sand colour here, because I'm thinking this looks very much like Bodleia's, what's the Bodleia's and hydrangeas and the sort of more dusky tones. Now I've got a bit of a vibrant pop here, this royal purple, so I am going to put that in sections just to give a bit more drama, and we will do these colours on the other side like so. There we go. These gorgeous pops of purple in there. And then what we got next, this lovely blush dusky purple in there. Get them in. There we go. Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So we'll give that a little bit of a and then we'll let this get stuck into those colours. The fawns, you've got those different tones and hues all popping off all over the place. Shall I do a bit of speckling on this one as well to give it a bit more drama? I think I will do. We'll get it turned on now. I'm not going to use a green. What I might use is a little bit of splashes of purple extra, and maybe some extra purple splashes. What else could I go in? Oh yeah, and I'll use a little bit of brown in there as well. So we're just going to put a little dash of purple speckling on here. I'm going to try and avoid those fawn areas. That will do. Oh, we'll do that again on the other side in a moment. What else have we got? A bit of sand dune, and we will do some speckling on top of where the browns are there, just to give it a bit more definition. And then we'll do the same when we flip it over on the other side in a moment. Yeah, there we go. Really easy to do a wash. Just give it loads of different tones of the colours that you're wanting to work with. Yeah, and then just have a little play about with your speckling, and then once that dye is saturated into your yarn, you flip it over and then use either 3 of the same colours that you used on this side, or all of the colours if you've got enough of it already made up. Really easy, dead simple to do. Just push that up a little bit. That's now got a decent steam in it. I want to turn that down because we really don't want the yarn to bubble. And I'll get back to you when I flip it over in a moment. And then we've just got one more yarn to cover, and then that's us done for this Crocus Purples and Greens inspiration. So I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so flip the yarn over. So I'm going to go in with my colours. Again, wishy-washy over the top. Like so. Right, I like it. Then in with another shade of purple. This one's more lilacs, but I'm just going to go like that. And then we have got a dusky antique mauve that I'm going to put over my highlights because I want that soft colour in there with the others. There we go. And then that's it. So we'll let that do its thing, and again, as usual, I will show you the pictures at the end of what the yarn looks like once it's dried. Yeah, so we'll catch you in a bit when I'm doing I think it's the merino bamboo blend next. Okay, so we're on our last colourway, and this one's going to be greens. So we're going to go in with our citric acid wash over the top, as we do. Now I have got different shades of greens, so I'm going to go with this tealy green up the top, and I know it's a lot more blue than what we've been working with, but I really just wanted to add in another dimension of a green in here. Now this is a merino bamboo blend. I've got this up here I want to add in, like so, and then I have another green that we're going to put down the bottom, like that. I'm going to just let that have a little wash about inside that liquid, like that. And then we will add a little bit of grey speckling to this just to give it a little bit more character. Get that turned up. turn that down. I'll let my hands dry a little bit. I need to go and get another green in my wash. Okay. I'll just wait for that water to start heating up. I'm just going to look for some green in my dyeing pots. I can fill that up. So I've got 3 for the other side, and we'll get the speckling done in a second. I'll go with this one. Okay. Right, so we'll add some of this golden straw in there as well, and then go in with a bit of speckling, as I say, just to bring it another dimension. So I'm using a grey, a really pale grey on here. I think it will really suit the colours that we're working with here very, very much. There we go. A bit more up here and there and up here. There we go. So we'll leave that to sit for a moment, and then we'll flip it over and we'll do the other side. And we'll add some more green in there. Get my dye pots ready for flipping it over in a minute. This won't take long at all. I just wanted a bit more green in this, because we've done quite a few with the purple colours on there, and we've done some lovely buttery creams on there as well, and we've done a purple version. So I think now the greens need to be shown off a little bit more. It genuinely will not take long. There we go. Look, the water's clear underneath there already. It's just the speckling. I want to give that a moment, which I think, yeah, they're not smudging too much. I don't want it to smudge, so I'll give them a little bit more. The water is quite cool, so we'll just push that up a little bit. I need the heat to set the speckling, you see, because without the heat, the speckling won't set into the yarn with the citric acid. It'll start to plush. If I press it down, it'll melt into the yarn, and that's really not the look that we're wanting. Okay, so we need the heat to let that saturate into the yarn and form its own identity with the citric acid that will help that glue to the fibres, and that's what I'm looking for. So once I get to that stage in a minute, I will flip you over and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've turned the yarn over and you can see all the pale sections on that yarn again. So we're just going to do a nice wash over the top. There's another green to go over the top of there. And then another one to go over the top of this tealy section, just to calm that down. I just want to bring back those green tones a little bit more. Okay, so that's that. That will sit there, soak away in this liquor. It won't take long for that to saturate all the dye pigments. We will review that again tomorrow. I'll just stick on a little bit of speckling before I finish up this part of the video. And again, I'm going with this grey, and I'll just, all these sections that are sitting up and protruding out the water, I will put some of this platinum grey for a bit of a highlight on the yarn, like so. And it's a really pale grey as well, so it won't overpower at all. Like that. And we'll leave that to do its own thing, and I will catch you once these are all dry. So next day, yarn's done, and I love them. With the pattern that's included in the Easter bundle sets, which is the waffle, the broken waffle, the waffle weave, or something like that. I can't remember the fucking name of it, but I've mentioned it already. I will. It would work really, really well if you want to do a gradient yarn. So from a selection of colours, making them work so that they complement each other as you work with it. So this one here is the superwash merino and biodegradable yarn. And that is how it turned out. Now I love the colouring, and I know on the picture that you saw before it had green, like mossy greens, and it had more mauvey, lilac-y type purples. And this is the whole point. This is about trying to look at the images and seeing if there's more depth to it. Let me just see if I can find, there we go. See if there's anything else that you can add into the dyeing technique, so that you can have a bit more dimension to your yarn instead of just solid colours. Sometimes letting the yarn poke through the natural undertone, like the undyed section, and letting it just have a bit of a wash of the colour that you're adding to it, especially if you've only got small trays, sometimes that just really, really works. And with these type of yarns, the superwash merino, it's got a lovely soft loose twist to it. I'll show you what it looks like unravelled. Hold on a second. There, that picture there is what I was working from yesterday. Hold on a second, it's upside down. So you've already seen it, but I can't, my editing suite won't let me put the picture back up again. But yeah, so we've got like these bluey tones in here. These are the colours of inspiration. But then we've got these hydrangeas, and they've got these creamy colours and these slightly fawny colours which I've added in. And then you've got these really soft mauvey lilacs and hints of blues in there. So I thought I'd get away with that. So if I went more for the bluey green in the dyeing tray, then that helps express those colours. So that's what we've gone with here. And I did the same thing when I did the pink cherry blossom. So there we go there. The pictures will be at the very end, so you can see what they look like in the box. So we've got this transition of colour going through where sections of broke. Then I added in the golden, like the golden straw, the golden straw, or the colours in there. And then you've got the moss, and you've got lichen, and then you've got this lovely bluey green through there, and it hits all the way through, but then it sort of hits sections where there's bits of green in there as well. A little dash of speckling, but not overly. So I'm quite happy with the grey speckling that we put on there. There's another little bit of speckling in there. I mean, it's not going to come out superimposed in your yarn, but it's just going to give little flecks every so often. We've obviously got the yellow speckling that we did. If I can find a section here, can I see any? Not straight off, a little bit up here, but we never did a lot of it. And that's what I quite like about this yarn. It just has that different colour transitions all the way through, has a little bit of drama, its own unique character. So when it's mixed with these other yarns and knitted together as some sort of colour gradient, it will look fantastic, and it'll just add that little bit more drama if that's what you want to do. Now, the same green, some of the same greens that I used in this actual yarn, I used throughout. I used in the next colour, which I'm going to show you which now. So there we go. There is the superwash merino blended with biodegradable nylon. So we'll stick them here and out the way. So the next one we got is this lovely soft sheet, and this is a bamboo merino blend, 70-30 ratio. Really lovely. Again, it's got this soft weave, and because it's got bamboo in, bamboo doesn't like citric acid dyes, it prefers procreon. So again, what you end up with is this lovely sort of muted wash on the yarn, which suits the superwash because the superwash strikes really quickly. So you end up with these sort of like a, you know, that denim wash look where it's slightly faded in sections and this, that and the other. So I mean, if I wanted it to be really, really bold on the superwash merino, then I could have put it into a big pot and just blast it with one colour. That wasn't what I was looking for, okay? But when you work them together, you can see that there's hints of the greens in there that I've used on there. So they definitely complement each other. So this is, again, as I say, a bamboo wash, a bamboo merino blend on a 4-ply, and I'll just get you the actual yarn unravelled. There we go. So we've got this transition of greens come through, and then we've got the purple speckling we did, and we did green speckling in there as well, and then some mauve speckling. So we've got all these colours in there which are in the picture, and then we've got the purple. So it's a wash base but with a lot of speckling that we actually did. And remember that video, there was a second, I think it was the second one in on this video. So there we go. So I think that looks absolutely adorable, and it's really, really pretty. It's got a little bit of stretch, a bit of give in it because of the bamboo that's in there, but I just love where you've got these purple speckles in these sections where I added the cream, and then you've got more speckling on there. So this one had a lot more speckling than any of the others, so that's really nice. Dead chuffed how it's come out. You can see it when it's wound into a skein, which I'll show you in a second. Just wind this up. So there we go. That so you know, you can see the speckling again on that one as well. See the definition. So that's really, really, really pretty. I love that. I love that. So I wanted to bring the purple into the green now before I went any further, so that if I wanted to work these, at least 3 of these yarns together, then I've got the purple transition starting in there. Okay, so the next one we have got is this one. Now I'm showing you this one for a reason, because again, this is a merino with gold stellina. Is it gold stellina in there? Is it silver? No, it is the gold stellina. It's gold stellina and merino blend. Let me just fiddle about with this. There we go. Just give it a good stretch, a big whack. Right, so this is the one that we did in the purple shades. Now I did add splashes of grey in with it, and you've got these little blue specklings in there. It's very, very muted. Again, it's a merino base. Sometimes these yarns can come out quite washed, and if you want a really more depth of colour, then just add in some more dye and more liquid, but you have to just remember about your immersion levels on your water. Okay, but I love them. This is the look I wanted anyway, so this is what I was going with. I can dye my colours stronger than this. That, for instance, okay. But this is the look I wanted. I wanted these lovely, soft, dusky colours in these yarns, so they'd work lovely together and not overpower each other. So that's the look I was going for with this yarn. I could have dyed them in a bigger tray, and it meant that the colouring would have probably soaked right through to the bottom, but then I might have lost the layering of the colours when I'm flipping them over. Sometimes the whole point is to make sure that you're left with at least 40 to 50% of your undyed yarn on the base, so when you flip it, you can add in an extra colour in there, and that'll help bring it more depth and more coverage of dye. So there we go. So I'm really quite pleased with that one. So we've got these little wash sections. You've got the gold glittering through. We've got these fawn sections in here as well. So yeah, I love that. I really, really love how they've turned out. I'm twisting my yarn the wrong way. It's this way. It won't sit right otherwise. Honestly. She's an absolute doofus. So yeah, So these videos are bonus videos, and it's because I ballsed up on on an order. I did one order was the wrong colour, and I'd forgotten that I needed the other, so I've done it on a roving as well. So bear with me. You'll see some 2 extra bonus videos. So that's 6 videos that you'll receive for over the Easter period. You know, these things happen. These things happen. So there we go. I'll pop the pictures up at the end of this so you can see what they look like. The light obviously is not brilliant. Look at that nice browny chocolatey colour section that's just popped in there when I'm messing around with that. Then I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's wind this one up, and then I will show you the last one, which is a lovely gorgeous blend, and you saw me doing it with the buttercream, and it's on merino blended with baby alpaca and nylon, and it's a 60-20-20 ratio. Okay. Oh, I haven't got one of those do-free machines that people buy that winds your yarn for you. I've got my chin. I've got enough of them, that's for sure. So there we go. That is the merino and gold stellina blend, and it's got nylon in it as well. It's a I think 75%, yeah, 75% merino, 20% nylon with 5% gold stellina. So the next one I've got is this one, the baby alpaca. And why doesn't that look like the colours of crocuses, with the creamy colour in there for the inside of the flower, or even pansies this time of year as well. And it's gorgeous. I love it. I love it. It's got this goldy colour in there, and it's so soft. The other yarns are 350 meters. This one, this baby alpaca merino nylon blend, is 400 meters. I just love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It definitely has that look of flowers to me. So this is what it looks like unraveled. So you have the specklings in there, and then you have the mauves and lilacs and the hints of purples in there, and transition into this golden butter colour, and this subtle change, and a bit of speckling throughout on there as well, because I didn't want to go overboard with the speckling, but I got a little bit of speckling of yellow and gold on the purple there as well. I mean, it just looks, I know, yeah, I just love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous, and I can't wait to see how that's knitted up. If these don't sell on the website, then I will be pinching a couple to knit into a shawl that I can pop on the website, just for the joy of being able to do it and work with them. For me, is enough, and then sell the end product on the website. Right, so there we go. That is all of the Crocus purple and greens variation of the Easter bundle sets. You will see an extra roving dye video pop on as well over the Easter period. So that'll be 2 bats, 2 rovings and 2 yarns. You know, easily resolved, just means more videoing. So there we go. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. So these will be listed on the website. One goes off to my Easter customer, but there'll be one of these going onto the website, one of each of these colorways. So let's pull them up. You've got that one, and that one. So we'll have one of each of these on the website in a fortnight's time, so the weekend after Easter. So those two would work really great together if you want to work them in one project. Those will look fantastic together if you want to work them as one project, or you could work them all together, no problem. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe. It's free to do so, and it helps my channel grow a little bit. And also, by liking my channel and subscribing as well, it lets YouTube know that my videos are useful and people are actually enjoying watching them. So take care, catch you on the next video, speak to you soon. Thanks for watching.